You guys recording?
I'm recording.
You guys recording? Christina, you recording?
Yep.
Are you sure you're recording?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me? Hey, you losers, this is episode 15 of We Could Be Wrong. The hotline of... Oh, fuck, can I throw it over?
Hotline Miami podcast.
No.
Get
Hey,
drunk,
everybody.
see blurs, put on a mask.
Hey, everybody, it's episode 15 of We Could Be Wrong, the Goblin Market of podcasts. I'm Eli, alongside with Bret.
You have to go back a few booths to get the freshest of goblins at the Goblin Market.
Yeah, and over here we have Christina.
Hi.
Where's your favorite place to shop on the Goblin Market?
The Bone Cave.
Come by, come by.
You know that the Bone Cave is actually a porno store because it always gives me a boner.
Wow.
What,
Wow.
the store or the items inside the store? Do you just look at the store and get a boner immediately?
Yeah, you just go in and then you just like got a giant boner.
I have the weirdest boner. Memes.
All right.
Alright.
Eli, what's your topic this week?
Kissing.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. You ever kissed? Alright, I wanted to talk, because Fallout 4 was coming out in when? When's Fallout 4 coming out?
Fallout 4 is coming out on the 10th this Tuesday.
Remember, the
believe
10th
it's
of
so
November.
close.
So, as it was being announced, there were a lot of people making jokes about the animation's going to be terrible, it's going to be bug-ridden, and yet, just like the previous games, but yet a lot of people still love the previous games, regardless of all those bugs, and,
Can I interject here?
No.
'Cause
So I just wanted to bring out, how much are we willing to forgive our media, even if it's, something within the content of itself, or even, technical bullshit
All
that
right.
goes on.
I want to, because I think we were listening to the same podcast when we heard this. P.S. I love you, XOXO.
I didn't think of that one, but
They talked about that.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks ago.
I was just listening to Greg Carter make jokes about it constantly about Fallout 4.
Well, here's the thing. Well, a lot of the issues, though, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm not," is Skyrim, and I played Skyrim on the PS3. It was fucking atrocious. It was an awful experience.
It broke.
Dragons
it broke my
flew
sister.
backwards. Christina, I platinumed that shit, okay? So it might have ruined your sister, but it destroyed me, okay? There was my final thing I needed to get to finish this achievement, to get all 100% of the achievements in the game, was I had to go turn in a quest to a quest giver. Well, because of some glitches, a fucking barbarian spawned inside of Whiterun, which isn't supposed to be allowed to happen. He ran up and just killed the quest giver. So the quest giver was dead. So there was no way to complete the task. So I think a lot of people give that game shit, which is fair enough. But I will say one thing. I think they were doomed no matter what, because a lot of people know now the situation was the RAM in the PS4 is 500 megabytes of RAM were allocated for game usage, and that might sound like a lot, but that's actually fucking atrocious.
500 megabytes?
Yeah, it was here. PS3.
What?
RAM. What was?
Oh my god!
How much RAM does a PS3 have?
4 gigabytes of. I don't know.
What? I don't even remember. What were the? I know there's a major save glitch.
Let me just 512 megabytes were allocated for. I don't know. This number doesn't say if it was all allocated to game use. So there could have, because whenever you have RAM, some of it has to be dedicated to other processes other than games on consoles. Mm-hmm. The background UI and stuff like that. The console itself has stuff going on. So I don't know how much. I don't know if it has more RAM. But it looks like from this, it was just 512 RAM dedicated to games or overall. And so that just fucked that game. That game was never going to work. That is not a game that can work on 512
because
megabytes of RAM.
It renders the whole world.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Everything is changing the world. If you leave a door open, that door fucking stays open. If you leave a pot in an area, that pot stays there forever. So the more you do, the more you're actually creating, the more RAM that the game is going to require. And I just think that no matter what they did, they were always doomed. I think that there's a lot of other glitches that are weird, like Fallout 4, like they talked about on PS I Love You. Fallout New Vegas. There was this cowboy hat that there was only 2 of these cowboy hats. They were just like random cowboy hats you could find out in the wasteland. But they were called the dusty old cowboy hat. Now, if you wore that into the New Vegas Strip, you were permanently tied to that hat. If you did not you had to be wearing that hat to get into the New Vegas Strip. But the thing is, hats... Yeah, it was a weird glitch no one knew about for years.
I remember them talking about that.
That was just on the console version, wasn't it?
No, it was on all versions. They had to patch it out eventually.
Oh, wow.
If you wore that hat into the New Vegas Strip at any point, the game got to a glitch where no matter what you did, the game would require you to be wearing the new the cowboy hat. Now, there's only 2 of them in the world, and armor can break. So basically, people who found that glitch, they had to be like, now I have to carry this hat in my inventory at all times, because if I lose it, I'm done. Wow. Like, I can't, because the New Vegas Strip is a very integral part.
So how many people still played, like, after that?
I don't know. Like, there was, like, glitches. Like, when I played Fallout 3...
I thought that was a lot of people's favorite Fallout game.
New Vegas? Mm-hmm. I think it kind of goes half-half. Like, the morality system in New Vegas was really, like, fucking paper thin. And it's like, there was no good situation. Oh, you joined with this new Californian order. They're bad guys now. Oh, you joined with the bad guys. They're really bad guys. And it's just like there's no fucking...
Riveting.
Yeah, it's just like that. Oh, you thought that helping the good guys would help out, but their taxes hurt people. And it's like, am I fucking watching like a Republican podcast?
Politics. Over here, we could be wrong.
No,
and I was asking you, like, if stuff like that, even with all that stuff there, what makes it so interesting to people that they want to, like, keep going and be willing to be forgiving? Because if this was stuck in another game, people would just dismiss it entirely.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's because the world is so... vast, and it does a lot of stuff that we don't see games really attempt to do. Like, we don't see games that... It doesn't feel like when you go into a game world, like you pick up this pot and you throw it on the ground. You feel like it's a rendering of that. It's like, this is not a pipe. It's very much that. But in Skyrim and in Fallout...
It's probably the most, like, those 2 games are probably the most, like, sandboxy
well, I think it feels like
aside from like Minecraft, which is
I don't know about Christina, but Eli, do you remember the painting "This Is Not a Pipe"? It's supposed to. It's a
you
painting.
Showed me that.
I've shown you that pipe. I've
never seen that. No.
It's kind of like a metaphor in a paint. I don't know how to describe it. It's an ideal where it's a painting of a pipe, a very nice, detailed painting of a pipe. But then it has, in French, I think it is, written underneath it, "This is not a pipe." So it's supposed to be, well, no, of course it's a pipe. Oh, what they're saying is that this is a painting of a pipe. And that's kind of how video games feel most of the time. Like, you're not really running around this world with a gun and picking up these objects.
I'm sure a lot of people would like to believe
that really weird video. I'm like, I don't need to go on vacation because I can go to Skyrim.
Why do people spend so much money learning other languages when I can speak to the dragons?
Oh my god!
I'm
I wish that guy.
dragonborn.
I wish that guy didn't burn that video off the internet. Like he got obsessed. He would not let anyone have copies.
And like
of that.
when he killed that video off, he was like, "Guys, it was satire. It was a weird joke, satire." And I'm like,
yeah, it's like, no, dude, that was not satire, because then when people started satirizing you got upset and hit them with DMCA's.
Yeah, satire. It only works when I do it. Like, satire.
That's how satire works.
Yeah, you go to your English classes. Like, satire works when you do it and not anybody else's.
It's satire when I do
with
it.
other
It's
people
harsh
criticizing
and negative
you.
criticism when you do it.
Yeah, I know what satire is because I looked at the dictionary. You know what one of Jim Sterling was complaining about with just shoot the heads 2000.
You click the heads.
Click the head, yeah, that thing.
What?
Yeah, go watch his videos, Christina. This isn't the we go analyze Jim Sterling video podcast. That's next week.
Yeah, that's next week. Like, good for me! That's my Jim Sterling impression.
I thought Jim was here. I was going to ask him questions.
Jim Sterling.
Why do you have so many pogs, Mr. Sterling?
Oh, let me tell you something. I was a child of the 90s, and pogs were all the rage.
So,
in jolly good England.
So, I think that the other
This is
part
not a pipe.
when you gave me that, that's why I think I forgive Skyrim and Fallout. They actually make me feel like, I don't think this is not a pipe. This is a world. This is real. Like, you can pick this pan up and throw it at that guy, and it stays on the ground where you threw it at him. Like, it feels so ambitious that you're willing to forgive some things. Like, I think, I think the biggest example is look at The Last of Us. People decry that as one of the greatest games ever made, blah, blah, blah. But there's so many fucking issues with that game.
Well, and then it's like most of the writing is very cliched.
Most of that writing is very video game writing. Like, you get to this point where, like, it's this big emotional scene between Ellie and Joel. And she's like, "Oh, you're like the only family I've ever had, and you just wanted to throw me away." And Joel's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'll never leave you again." And they hug, and it's supposed to be a tender moment. And then the game realizes that it hasn't had you shoot someone in the fucking face for at least 5 minutes, and it's like, "Oh, bad guys, right there, go, here's a gun, go." It's just
Now you have to navigate through this whole town by yourself. Good luck.
It's just like it has a lot of very video gamey elements in it, gamification elements, like that take away from its narrative. Like it has this narrative going where it's like, oh, this is a sweet and touching moment. Why is there a mushroom guy like just running out? Like, I think a lot of games.
Well, the mushroom guys make sense.
Well, no, okay, that was Raiders in that scene, but it's like, a lot of the times it's just like, I shouldn't be fighting the mushroom people this often. Like, I feel that it was a game that wasn't confident enough to not have an fight encounter every fight. Like, there's this one part where you're having this touching, beautiful moment where two characters are realizing that they're the only family that each other has, and they have to look out for each other. And then you realize there's a lot of waist-high walls in this area. A fight has to be breaking out soon.
I think that's sort of the problem with having like a AAA mindset, because it's one of the things. Like, I want to tell this story and I want to bring it out to the most people, but I have to say it in a way where people would still want to keep playing the game. So I would have to still do some of the typical things that would be expected in a critical and not critical AAA game like this.
Yeah, and I think that like it's weird that like
could help.
I think that one of the issues is that like, there's a lot of insistence on fighting, and now I'm not offering any solutions because I don't have them, but I think that there has to be something other than just punch the guy in the face to move the plot along.
Look at Undertale. You make friends with all your enemies.
Undertale's actually a really great example.
Yeah, it's like it's something out of the norm that actually works and attracts a large amount of people. I've never seen a game like where so much of my friends were talking about this, and I like Undertale, and I've never even played the game. That's a weird thing.
I really like Soma, actually. There's this one scene in Soma, that's the new horror game from the guys who made Amnesia.
Man, they
really get atmosphere.
We didn't finish playing that game.
We got roughly, like, how long do you think we're through it? Like a third to halfway through.
I'd say, yeah, about that. But that game is so well written.
Mm-hmm. And there's one point where you find these two power outlets, and you're told one of them has to be turned off so that this door can be opened to the next area. And so I was like, oh, I'll just turn this one off that's giving life support to this robot. And the robot's like, please don't kill me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to turn this one off. But then I was like, what happens if you go to the other one and turn that one off? Well, that other one basically unlocks the door you just came through, and a monster busts through there. And then you'd have to, like, completely re-navigate the floor you're on to get to the staircase. And it's just, it's a really good...
I got a feeling those decisions are going to bite you in the butt.
I've read up. No, they don't.
Really?
There's no. Oh, you picked the bad boy ending.
You're a bad boy.
It's and that's also something I really like, because that's a lot that, like, fucking BioShock 1 is such a stained game, because you're playing through and it's this really great experience up until the last 10 minutes, and it's
so
like,
I guess those decisions are really there to make you think.
The decisions
is
are
it
only there.
Okay to kill these people because
is it
they're
okay
robots?
to kill is it okay to kill this woman because she's, like, basically dying, but I need the power that's hooked up to her? Or should I try and go out of my way to find a way to, like, re-hook up this energy source? It's really interesting game design, I think.
Yeah, that's like, aside from some of the enemies.
I don't like the enemies. Like, there's one scene where this enemy pops up and it was kind of annoying.
Aside from the enemies, it's a pretty well written game.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that game writing has to take into account that it's a game. Because that's the issue that a lot of game writing, it's like, well, what if my script that I wrote for a movie turned into a video game? I'm calling it The Order 1886.
Nice.
And it's like, you get... I really...
Well, that's a really badly written movie.
The Order 1886 has to be someone's failed screenplay that they got some executive.
Yeah, it was failed for a reason, because it fucking sucks.
Well, Christina, what if you have a midway or you have a character... What would you call that plot trope where it's the character you start with the character, kind of like a foreshadowing event where you see them flash forward. There we go. You get a flash forward and you get to see all these characters surrounding the character. He's been, like, found out and he has to get out of town, and, like, all the characters who were his friends have now turned on him. And then we flash back to him, and then we see this character that we think dies, but we saw them already in the flash forward. Who fucking wrote this? I
think it was the guy from Rick and Morty. It was like,
oh yeah, no, like, oh god, everyone has to worry about being that guy.
And the gunshot fade
the
to black
ends
thing.
Title credits pop up. Question mark slowly fades in.
I just wanted to point out that I think it's a great time to be someone who plays video games. I don't want to say game, whatever. It's just because it feels like we're in a middle of a renaissance, like, you know, near the height of a renaissance happening in, like, independent scene. I think
we're at the beginning.
I think
because we're at the. I see what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm. We're like we're in like the Chowder Flapjack era of Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is why we have Christina on the podcast.
Wow. Christina was like, I don't know if I bring enough to the podcast, but wow.
You just brought the boatload in.
Yeah,
the misadventures of Christina.
We just need an Adventure Time.
We need an Adventure Time, which will then lead to a Steven Universe.
Are you sure Undertale's not the Adventure Time?
Weird shit like Rick and Morty just happening.
Yeah, although I don't know. Like, the thing with Undertale, which is not because, like, you know how once Amnesia got popular, everybody started making,
Everyone just, oh, look,
Amnesia-esque games
it's
to
a
the
game
point
where
where
there's a
when
guy
fictional
stalking
games
you.
come out with another game, everybody's just like, this is just
Wait, what? When digital is that the name of the studio?
fictional game, yeah.
Fictional games. Yeah. I mean,
When they
that was
came
kind
out
of-
with Soma, they're just like, oh god.
That's kind of my only issue with Soma right now, is that it kind of does feel like, oh,
You made Amnesia.
it's another horror game
But,
with a stalker element.
But like with Undertale, that would be hard to replicate because it took that guy like
I think that I
2
think
to
that some
3
people are
years.
going to try and replicate it unsuccessfully because it's just going to be very bare bones. Oh, hey, look, I made my own version of.
Look at all these ironic like things.
Well, it was
I'm a
it's just
skeleton. My name is
jokes to,
Times
like,
New Roman.
things.
Look at how many assets look similar in RPG Maker 2015. Like, that's what it's going to be.
I have an angry
Yeah, but-
Rose. His name is Rose.
But unlike them, like
Totally whatever.
to make another Undertale, you have to put the work in.
You have to kill someone.
I think, yeah, Undertale comes from a place of, like, a guy... I really do feel like Undertale is just a guy who's like, I'm fucking sick of how games are right now. I want to make something. And Christina, great. I can't get over how great that analogy is. But, like, it really did... It really was, like... You know what? I can't fucking stand how all these games are the same fucking thing. They're all just like, all RPGs with a morality system are shoot the guy in the face, don't shoot the guy in the face, and your partner does shoot him in the face. Oh, your partner's bad, but you're good. And like, this is just like, either talk to them or fight them. Like, you have two options. If you talk to them, maybe... And it doesn't make... the good, like, I think as much as I love Mass Effect makes Paragon and as much as people go like, well, Renegade, you follow the rules, but you're ruthless, but you're still a good guy. I'm like, no, you fucking
none of those,
kill people.
Like when you're playing, when I've seen Katie play, my sister Katie play.
Can we say her
First
name?
member
One
of
of
the
the
podcast.
No, you can leave her in.
All right. Katie.
She's the
I
fourth
didn't
member
put her.
of the
I didn't put her
podcast.
last name.
Katie.
Anyway,
Come to play.
when
That's
I
all
see
I'm
her play like Inquisition and they have like the asshole options, you're just like, why would you say that in this situation?
It's
Like,
like-
why
it's
would
like-
you
it's like
say
Infamous.
that and expect people to follow you?
It's like Infamous. It's like,
yeah,
you
I
know,
was-
there's no
exactly.
real reason to be like the asshole in there. And like,
I
Like, you're trying to guide people through this really tough time, and you're the only person that they feel the need to follow. But if you're going to be a dick, they're not going to want to follow you, regardless of whether you have the special, like,
I think
thing
that...
or not.
God damn it, Christina.
wow, Christina, you know, that's not really cool that you don't let Bret speak. I mean, that's one of the worst things that ever happened, not letting your other co-host speak.
I see what you're doing there. I think that, like, the bad decisions in Infamous
It's letting Bret
actively
speak.
actively ruin my enjoyment of Infamous. Like, Second Son, the whole thing with, like, Delson, like, fucking, like, ultimates a fucking old lady because she was mean to him.
Well,
it's
and
like,
then it doesn't make fucking sense that his brother would still stay with him.
Yeah, and like...
It's like, you're a fucking cop.
Oh, just... I don't know, like, it's so cartoonishly evil, whereas the other side is, like, kind of like an ambiguous good guy. It's a guy who wants to do good, but he doesn't really understand how to do it. And he's kind of being selfish, even though he's doing good, because he's only thinking of himself and what he would have the most fun doing.
Like, I feel like Undertale's probably, I wouldn't say one of the first games, though it's probably one of the first games that you really feel the difference between the two like things. Like, if you decide to be friends with everybody, then the world like opens up and you're just like, oh, it's so nice, look at all these nice people, everybody's like your friend and you have a happily ever after. And then if you decide to kill everybody, everybody's just like, okay, we're gonna move the fuck out of here because this guy's a maniac. And then there's like people who are actively trying to kill you.
Yeah, I think
because
that,
you're killing everybody.
I think that I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that it does something with the morality system that not a lot of games are willing to do, which is that they're not just fucking parodies of each other. It's
and then even if you decide to do a middle run where you kill some people, not others.
Do you get different options for that?
To that.
Okay. So, does Sans still fight you at the end, or is he well, you
Sans
killed...
doesn't fight you if you kill Papyrus, but he is...
if you don't kill
He is
Papyrus.
fucking angry at you.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I really... I think that's... and it's... Yeah, one of the things that pisses me off the most... is because I just hate what's it called? What's that game called? BioShock.
Okay.
Where you fucking there are 3 endings. The good ending where it was you were a noble saint and you saved all the little sisters, and then the bad ending which was you killed them, you're evil, and then the neutral ending which is you don't save all of them, which is it literally is the same ending as the bad ending, but the woman who's speaking is more monotone, where she's you could have saved them, but I guess you didn't want to. And that's it. And that's the 3 endings. And it's so either I'm a fucking Jesus character,
sounds
or...
It kind of sounds like that game after you, talk to Andrew Ryan. It's just when the game... they just wanted to get to that point. And then everything after that's just we just had to tie up some loose ends. Oh, shit,
we've got another 2 levels.
Oh, man.
Because that Andrew
This
Ryan
is not
scene,
the end of the game, guys.
That Andrew Ryan scene really is, one of the cooler But again, it's also...
Well, yeah,
I think...
when I was watching, a walkthrough of that game because I felt obligated to.
By law?
I stopped after the Andrew Ryan scene.
No, says the man.
Yeah, it's
kind
of...
okay,
it's kind of
good. I just wanted to see that scene.
Yeah, it's kind of a good choice. It's a good area to choose to do that.
I mean, I think I watched a little bit after that because whatever, but I was I'm just gonna stop.
So this week, my topic, I wanted to talk about, so me and Christina, if I had to make a list of the things that we talk about a lot, I think number 1 would be our dissatisfaction with anime. I don't know what are things we hate.
Well, yeah, watching.
Okay, I just want to point this out. I'm sorry to interrupt, because I want to point it out. I'm sharing this podcast with a lot of my friends in the anime club, and so I think they would love to hear about you disappointment in anime. It'd be great.
Oh, that could be a topic. So we're very hypercritical of anime.
Yeah. More Bret's hypercritical. Let's blame Bret. Blame Bret.
But I think the weird one that would be on that list of things we talk about way too much is procedural cop shows. It's just
it's
easily
so fun
number
talking
3
with
of
you
4.
about those.
We talk about them so often. I don't know why, but we just do. And that's my topic tonight.
We watch a lot of bad ones, like Bones.
Oh, we used to watch Bones a lot.
There's just
Borealis.
There's just one day where we just devoted our time
we
to
just
watching
watched Bones all day, and we're just this is.
Oh
the
god!
worst.
Once they introduced that Pakistani guy, we're just oh no.
and then at that one point when they had a crossover with
Cheers.
No, Sleepy Hollow.
What?
Where, you told me about that one.
Yeah, so I guess Sleepy Hollow, I haven't watched any episode. I've been told it's decent. Because right now, and I'm glad, because for years this wasn't happening. For years, we've had, basically, Law and Order came out in the 90s, and that set the de facto thing for syndicated cop dramas, which was... It's police, find the bad guy, bring them to prosecution, the issues with cops.
Maybe some court activity.
Yeah, maybe some court. And then CSI came in. And CSI fucking ruined everything. Everything was about this bullshit pseudoscience that a lot of it's kind of breaking, some rules with how fucking science works.
Zoom in. Zoom in more. Zoom in. Yeah. Keep zooming. Yeah. Oh my God, are you zooming in? Zoom in.
Watch Adam Ruin's Adam Ruin's everything. Forensic Science, because they did an episode on that and it was beautiful.
It's like you can't really zoom in that often.
They should really like show that to people before they jury stuff
in the criminal justice,
or even to criminal justice students.
Yeah,
be like,
or like the fingerprint thing, where it's like technically that's never been proven. That's just something we accept.
That's interesting because they teach that in biology class.
They teach that in fucking the criminal justice courses I took. Like that was something I thought was real until like that show. I was like, no, it's actually just something we think is real. It's a very usable source because it's very airtight. But the thing is, sometimes it's
like
not.
If you have an area / if you have an area, if you have other evidence plus that.
CSI ruins everything. Everything needs to be pseudoscience bullshit. Not pseudoscience.
Zoom into that really blurry picture.
Everything has to have zoom in. We got NCIS, which is like... I think, Christina, we should one day do a marathon of NCIS and just...
I don't even know about... I don't know if I really.
Well, we could just watch one episode because every episode's
maybe one
same.
Episode, but that.
If you've watched one episode of NCIS, congratulations, you've watched all episodes of NCIS. Except there's, I want to show you the episode.
I still find it mind-boggling that they're able to even come up with different things.
NCIS, it's the number one show in America for people on people in the NAA. No, fuck with the old people retirement thing.
I mean.
God!
It's like with other shows, at least they have a pretty broad scope of things. That show's just like, oh yeah, military crimes.
Not even military crimes, marine crimes.
Oh my God!
Not even that broad. NCIS is naval.
Well, and then you look at a commercial.
So it's not even Marines; it's the Navy.
Well, then you look at commercials for that show, and you wonder why people don't treat it as a joke. Because it seemed like the commercials just seem like, oh, wacky Christina, fun times.
NCIS is a very serious show, Christina. They once had an episode where two sailors on a boat played the same MMO that was clearly like World of Warcraft, made by like first-year designers at Full Sail, who like were just like, oh, whatever, it pays. And they made this MMO that these guys are playing, and then they're like, hey, let's play the MMO in real life. So they go and buy lieutenant swords, and they just fight each other with the lieutenant swords and accidentally kill like one of them.
Sounds fun.
Sounds great.
Riveting.
So CSI kind of ruins everything. Everything just gets bogged down in like making it look like fucking cops have these magical.
Not to mention that it completely ruined real life.
Yeah, there's actually a thing called the CSI effect, which is an effect that television has had on juries, which allows for prosecutors to win more cases than they should because people now think that they know so much from all of the cop shows that
my dad thinks he knows a lot about he thinks he could be a judge because he watches so much Judge Judy.
Kind of shit. That kind of shit is called the CSI effect, which is that like and now
people think that you have no effect, that media has no effect on people.
Right.
So, thanks to Christina, I now have a term for it. We're actually currently in what I'd like to call the Chowder era of procedural cop shows.
Don't steal her stuff. That's her stuff.
No, but Chowder is a good...
No, because I'm about to talk... Because I've been watching a couple of... I think probably during the whole CSI times, the only...
They should do an episode of Law & Order with all Chowder characters.
The only really good episode... The only really good one that I really latched onto was Psych, which... is basically about this guy whose dad was a detective. He basically turns his son into Columbo. Like, he makes him become so super sensitive to things that he can notice anything. You walked in, yeah, basically. You walked in here, you were sweating, it looks like you recently showered. He could, you might have gone to the gym earlier today. He could, sense things just from looking at you for an instant.
I thought you compared it to, modern day Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it very much was modern day Sherlock Holmes.
That's not the British one.
And then this came out long ago. And then he has like a best friend who's like a skeptic of his shit, but like is a really pragmatic kind of guy. And he has to, because of circumstances, he has to pretend to the police that he's a psychic because he keeps solving crimes for them. But it's really just he's so smart and he can figure things out really quickly. But it's just he just pretends he's a psychic because he's like, oh, the person was clearly like upset and crying and got into this car accident and then something happened. And they're like, oh, how did you do that? And he's like, I'm a psychic. And it was interesting because it was a comedy. It was flat out a comedy, and it was actually like having fun with it, and it was really great. And because it was so great, it got instantly ripped off, and its rip-off became more popular than it. The rip-off was called The Mentalist.
Oh boy.
We saw that episode. We saw the episode for the first episode of that for our script writing class.
The Mentalist is like a one-to-one rip-off.
It was our professor's idea.
Like, was it
to just rag on it?
Huh?
Was it to like rag on it? Like
no,
how
it
simple
was more like giving an
storytelling
example
is?
of like how to write a pilot or whatever.
Okay. But yeah, The Mentalist was a one-to-one ripoff of Psych, except they ripped out the comedy elements and added in like a super serious on-running plot about like the Mentalist's enemies. Like his own Moriarty. And
his own Greg.
Baker's
dozen.
I think nice. I didn't see that. So yeah, the reason I brought this up was I've been watching a new procedural cop show called iZombie, and I was actually I'm actually genuinely interested and intrigued because it's a procedural cop show, like, oh, how do we get this suspect? But it's told from the perspective of this girl who was bitten by a zombie.
Okay.
And so she's starting to become one, but she can put it off by eating brains, brains, like, shambling dead. She can put off becoming a ravenous zombie by eating someone's brain. Mm-hmm. But whenever she eats someone, she's become a mortician. She was a big shot heart surgeon. She drops out, becomes a mortician, a police mortician, so that she can get close and steal the brains off of the bodies. But she's getting their memories, and this is leading to her going out and trying to find out what these memories are trying to tell her about the crime. And I'm like, okay,
that sounds
you know what?
a lot like there's a comic book series called Chew.
Chew,
yes.
Yeah. iZombie is technically based on a comic book. If there's anyone out there, because I know Chew, I never knew about iZombie. If anyone can tell me if iZombie is a ripoff of Chew, I will. I'll totally. But yeah, it does sound a lot like Chew, and I've read a couple of issues of Chew, and that was kind of what I also thought about Chew, which was it was a really cool revamp of the whole normal cop show.
Like, side note, like, every time you say Chew, like, it reminds me of, like, there's a family member in our, I have a family member whose name, we call him Chew, and so every time you say that, I know you're talking about the word, but I'm just thinking of, like, my relative.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Chew is about a detective who he has like this superpower where anything he eats, he instantly gets like memories of the thing he ate. And so he uses this because he'll like cut off a piece of the victim's skin and eat it so that he can get information about what happened to them before they die.
What if he like chews on it and spits it out? Can he do that, or does he have to swallow it?
I don't know. I read the first issue, and that was like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. What if he's blowing a dude?
Well, I guess if they come in his mouth, then like
I have memory of your semen.
I have memories of all of the herpes you've gotten.
Oh boy!
Oh,
now your mouth's full of herpes.
You get mouth herpes that way. Yeah. That's gross.
The name of our podcast is going to be called Mouth Herpes.
No, please don't.
I'm not going to do it. Or am I?
You make some like hiddle butt, and I'm like, oh god, do I have to put that?
Yes, you always have to mention the hiddle butt.
Always.
So So
always mention the hill, but
I know I've been talking a lot about
going to be an
procedural
ongoing
cop shows.
theme.
Yes.
I know I've talked about a lot about cop shows, but like, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts on the procedural cop show? And is it like the zombie idea, where it's like, are zombies a dying thing? Is procedural cop shows are something that have gone on for like 20 years and no one gives a shit. They're like, yeah, NCIS, I'll watch a new episode of the same fucking show. Like, that's why, like, when people are like, oh, superheroes are gonna have to die eventually, I'm like, people fucking watch Law and Order for 30 years, okay?
Yeah, there's like how many seasons of that?
Yeah, I know. Like, collectively, there's probably more hours of, like, procedural cop shows than fucking, like, time of, like, all human existence.
Also, like The Simpsons is still on, so.
Yeah, I don't think that... I think that a genre can get bad and lazy, like cop shows have gotten for a long time. But I'm just curious, like, what do you think? What do you guys think about cop shows?
Well, like, because the shows used to be based on, like, real events until they ran out of real events.
How do you run out of real events?
There's this organization. I used to go to, like, this guy who used to work there. I think it's called the EVID, or IVID. It's a thing that's basically like a cold case analysis group that they
cold case, that show.
They're a group that, like, they meet up and they're like a lot of the brightest minds in criminal justice, and someone will come to them and be like, hey, I've got this case that I was never able to solve. Can you guys maybe be like give a new look at it? And it's just like a brain trust. Hey, EVID or IVID, can you guys look at this case that I wasn't able to solve? And they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh, you need to go investigate this one guy. And they've led to a lot of arrests. And the guy who runs it was lecturing at my school a couple of times. And, like, one time he was like, yeah, that guy, Jerry Brockheimer, who does CSI, keeps showing up at our meetings, and literally, like, 3 months later, a case we were talking about that he walked in on will be, like, the point of a CSI episode. IDOC. I think it's IDOC? Whatever.
iDocuments.
So, yeah.
No, with me...
Do you guys watch any cop shows?
My parents do. Sometimes.
My sister does. My sister watches Bones. Oh, your mom watches CSI Cyber, and that's a beautiful show.
Well, she also watches that. What the fuck is it called?
Minority Report, the television show.
No.
Gotham.
No. It's
Cat
the one
Dog.
with the redhead.
Annie.
Mysteries
Brave.
of Laura or something.
Oh, God, I saw a commercial of that, and I was like, oh, this looks awful. I thought it was supposed to be a comedy. Like, I really thought it was supposed to be a comedy. Like, working mom tries to put away crime while raising 2 kids. Wacky dacky doo.
I think I saw my parents seeing that one.
But then I saw a trailer for it, and it's like, tonight, on a very special case of the mysteries of Lauren, a rapist is killing women throughout the city. Can she stop them before things hit too close?
And her son needs to get picked up from soccer.
And I'm just like, is this a comedy or is this serious? Like, what is your tone here?
I think it's like in between. Because there's like wacky moments and then serious
Serial
moments.
killer carves off the skin of his victims, and the son needs to go to the prom.
Like fucking Bones, where a guy fucking snipes at Bones' agents from like miles and miles away.
Matt Borealis, no.
But then there's, oh my god, there was this one point in Bones where me and Christina were watching an episode, and I'm like, fuck this. It was the part where, what's the guy's name?
Matt Borealis.
Matt Borealis' character is like, they figured out where the guy who used to be Angel.
The main guy.
The main guy
who totally gets with Bones, but then doesn't get with Bones, but then gets with Bones.
Then gets with Bones. There's an episode where they're going to, like, they need to find this kid who was like kidnapped, and they find him, and then Matt Borealis is like, what's the call sign that your son would know? Like, he would know if I said this word that it's okay and he could come out. And the guy's like, paladin. And throughout this episode, there's been like a debate about religion between Bones and Matt Borealis' character. And so like then it gets so heavy-handed where he's like, don't worry, I'm paladin. And then Bones is like, paladin is a keeper of the faith. You're like the keeper of the faith, Matt Borealis. He's like,
you're my angel.
And I'm just like, I was watching this with Christina, and I'm like, fuck this. And I just like wanted to walk away. And there's the episode with the ghost that helps them get out of the boat, and I'm like, oh, you suck. There's literally an episode where they're like, one of them gets trapped on a boat, and he starts thinking that he's having a mental breakdown because he sees the ghost of an old friend who died. Well, of course he died.
Of course.
But he sees a ghost, and the ghost is like, I don't blame you, buddy. Here, let me help you out of here. And he gets out, and he's like,
and I'll teach you the true meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, I know, really. It was like one step off of that. And, it's like, you have to repent or face the chains.
I'm the ghost. I'm the ghost of Bones Pass.
But
they probably did do a Christmas Carol.
Everyone's done a Doctor Who did a Christmas Carol episode.
Well, that one was actually good.
That was actually really good.
Excuse you.
Because the ghost of Christmas Past was him just taking him to the past with this time machine. But so the ghost helps him out of this like
and
bad
the ghost
situation.
of Christmas Future is himself.
The ghost helps Matt Borealis
doctor,
off the boat. They get Matt Borealis, they save him, and then Matt Borealis is like, I was breaking down, but I thought I saw a ghost. And then Bones is like, oh, don't be stupid. There's no such thing as ghosts. I'm a stereotypical atheist character. You're stupid. I know science. I have test tubes. Look at all the test tubes.
Shut up, Mulder.
So
Mike,
so they fucking Bones is like with him, and he goes to his grave, and then this guy walks up to Bones and is like, oh, he's a really cool guy, isn't he? And Bones is like, yeah, he is. And then the guy walks away, and then Matt Borealis walks over. He's like, that guy you just talked to, that was the ghost. And I'm just like, oh, fuck this. Fuck everything. Fuck the world. Let it burn.
And they would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for Bones, his meddling psychic. Her meddling psychic.
Oh, my God. And then there's, like, it's such a... Bones is such a difficult show, because it's like
then
NCIS.
There's that chick that was, bisexual?
She was bisexual, I think. Yeah, I think they were going for bisexual. But it was, like, during that era, because, like, now in television, they're not afraid about having gay characters or bi characters. It's fine. It's like British television, like, 10 years ago, where British television was like, fuck it. People are gay. People are lesbian. People are bi. Now, but back then, they were like, it's really edgy to have a lesbian character, so she's bi, but she goes back to banging dudes 2 days later.
Yeah,
that's you know, bi. Like...
Although I think doesn't she end up with a woman?
No, she ends up marrying a guy. Okay, I'm not saying... I'm saying that it was like... It's they didn't write her to be bi because that was what they wanted for they wrote her to be bi so it could be edgy and be like, oh, maybe she's a lesbian. Oh, maybe she's bi. But then they just were like, no, let's take the easy way out, and she just goes back to her ex-boyfriend.
Well, I mean, there's also like that thing where they make a character quote unquote bi, but it's really like a lesbian that was turned not homosexual.
I feel bad. I feel like I'm making a very I'm not.
I don't know.
Eli, I'm trying to put this the best way I can. It's not that they made her bi because that's what they wanted to do to, like, the character just felt like it was a bunch of writers going like, what can we do to make this character edgy? And someone's like, have her make out with a chick. And it's like, yeah, and it's not that they were like, you know what? I feel that this character, she would be bi. That's who she is. They didn't let the character speak for themselves. They're just like, if she made out with a chick, do you think we'd get more demos?
Or they had like her making out with a chick, and then they saw people complaining about that, and they're just like, oh, retcon.
Retcon, she went back to her ex, don't worry, guys. Like, she only dated a woman in, like, 2 episodes out of, like, the entire few first seasons when that character was single.
Well, then it seemed like the whole plot with the other guy she was with was just like, no, he's making her straight.
You're using the straight powers. Straight powers activate.
I want
She originally liked the
now.
vag, but he told her to like the dick.
And she did. And life was wonderful.
I don't know. Because now I think, because I feel bad. I feel like we're talking like bi erasure and stuff like that, Eli. Because you were just saying like I would still be bi.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry if I came out as that guy.
No. Because I do agree with you.
Problematic.
Yeah, if she dated a woman and she dates a guy, she's still bi. Yes, I'm not saying that's not it. I'm saying that it didn't feel like it, because now there's a lot of characters.
It seems like bisexuality has always been exploited as the thing where it's just like, well, we don't want a completely gay character unless for like, oh, this person's bi, just because we're making the character that way.
I think that nowadays, like bi and gay and lesbian characters are a lot easier to get through, because like The Flash, there was like this guy, the chief of police, and then in one episode he just walks up and he's like, hey, meet my husband, and everyone's like, oh, hey, cool, he always talks about you, and it's like, oh, 10 years ago that would not have been allowed. Like 10 years ago that would have been like are we really ready for this? And now it's just like, yeah, the Flash's police chief is gay.
What's kind of funny about bisexuality though, it seems like
it's hilarious.
Bisexuality
is shown more as like sexual deviant.
That too, but it seems like live action TV. Although I might be wrong because I don't really watch that much live action TV. It's a little bit more accepting to bisexuality than like, or at least I don't know.
Because I think I see what you're saying.
Because then you get to like Tumblr and Steven Universe, and everybody just assumes people are just gay and not bisexual.
I actually think that we're at a time right now where gay characters are totally acceptable. But bi is kind of seen more as like sexual deviancy.
I wanted to talk about like a cop.
Or they just think that if you're a woman,
Christina, we gotta let Eli talk, or he's gonna like angrily text me later tonight.
I was just gonna say like, the whole bisexual thing where like you're bisexual, but the minute that you start dating like if like I'm dating you, Bret, so therefore I'm straight.
Yeah, I have friends who told me that like oh, like 2 bi friends are dating this. Oh, they're gay. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's like no, they're gay. It's like, well, you're not the one who decides that.
I think that like, again, like I was kind of saying earlier, right now in media, where I think it's weird because like I was talking to my parents about this, like 10 years ago when I was like,
when I was a young whippersnapper,
like gay characters were not allowed. Like you could not have a character just like in The Flash have the chief of police walk over to the Flash and be like, hey, here's my husband, and then the Flash be like, oh cool, I haven't met him before.
Well, now you have commercials that just have
you were thinking about like cop shows that we may have liked. I have what's one favorite cop movie that I like, and
butt to butt, 2 gay cops going at it.
Nice.
I wish. That's Detective Simon and Detective Theodore. Why did I pick those fucking names? Anyway,
I don't know.
That would be a really weird Christmas card.
When you said Simon, I went directly to Ice King.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, I go to Simone.
I go to Simon Says.
Well, see, I don't even see Simone's name as Simon.
You don't Simone?
Pronounce it differently.
No, like I was saying, I think when it comes to my favorite cop movie, it would have to be Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Because it's, and I know that's like, a whole completely different what I'm saying, but I really still do love that movie because a lot of comedies or a lot of just movies in general, I think what made Ace Ventura work in general was because a lot of movies where it's like, oh, the guy who was like always tries so hard, but he's like, he messes up sometimes, but he was really at it. He really goes for it. And then you have like detective movies where you're like, oh, this guy's like a genius, but yet this genius, he is like so socially awkward. He doesn't really have a weird time talking to people. He's just so weird around them. And so Ace Ventura took that one, and took it to an extreme. Like, yeah, he's a genius, and he is gonna be completely a dick to people. And the reason he's a dick to people is because he knows he's smarter than all the rest of the
I hate that trope now. I really hate that
yeah,
trope.
but it's like, I think it kind of works here because it's done so much. It's so
it's
so over the top where it kind of points out, like, hey, Sherlock Holmes, yeah, he's kind of a dick. And like, that's why Ace Ventura is kind of a dick.
I hate that that's now every rendition of Ace Ventura or not Ace Ventura. Every rendition now, because of Sherlock Holmes is he's an asshole. When it's like, okay, how about one rendition where it's just he's a guy like the original Sherlock Holmes, like writing, which was just he's a guy who he's kind of weird, but he's not unfriendly.
Yeah,
he'll talk to you, he'll be nice. Why can't we have a cop like that? Why can't we have a Sherlock like that? Instead, we have to have like, I'm so much smarter than all of you.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it kind of is justified because we end up rooting. I wanted to talk about how we root for, like, the best scene in any Ace Ventura movie is the crime scene where it looked
all
like
two of them. Are you talking about the third
one? First, the third one.
Get the fuck
we don't
out
talk
of,
about the third one. Okay.
You get the fuck out of here, Eli.
No, the first one. When
didn't even get did what's his name even appear in the third one?
No, he didn't. The first one where he
really, he didn't even appear.
No, he didn't.
What?
The first
there's three Ace Ventura movies, but the third one's kind of infamous because
Ace Ventura Jr.
It's Ace Ventura Jr. and it's about his son going on wacky misadventures.
Oh God!
It was a Cartoon Network
movie.
His
son.
So, and
is it his son?
Yeah, it was a Cartoon Network movie. Cartoon Network movie.
No, it was not a Cartoon Network.
It was on Cartoon Network.
I thought it got national release.
No. Not that I know of. So
it's a TV movie. Well,
yeah.
There's your first clue.
Yeah. So the scene in the first movie where they're at the scene where it's like, oh, this person obviously committed a suicide, and like Ace, he just goes like, oh, really? Oh, okay then. Man, you said that these windows are like, completely soundproof, right? It's like, yeah, and you said you heard a sound. Wait, no, I ruined it.
Okay.
Let me go again. I'm going to cut this out. All right, ready? So the scene starts off with him, and he's at this a scene where it looks like a suicide took place. But Ace Ventura, he kind of proves that an actual murder took place. And his way was like, ma'am, you said that you heard a scream, right? It's like, yes, I did. And it was like, what's your point? And the chief of police, she's like, what's your point, Ventura? And he goes, this is. And he goes up to, like, the screen door, and he goes, ah! And he just closes the door, like, and his opens it like, ah! Closes the door, opens it like, ah! And it's like, there's no way he could have, oh, it's like, oh God, I love that scene because like he just proves to all the police force that he's being an asshole and all the police force hate him because he's so eccentric and always talk about animals. But the fact that he was able to outsmart all these guys for being assholes to him in the first place, that's what makes me love Ace Ventura so much. And I know it's one of those asshole things where it's like it's unjustified. I think Ace Ventura is so weird and eccentric that I kind of forgive him for that.
Yeah, I do think, though, that that's a trope that's been played out by now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see a movie where it's about someone who's like, you say that the killer ran out the door when he would have just gone out of one of these windows because look how easy it is to lift. And then he like goes over to lift the window and he can't get it to lift. And he just spends like 5 or 10 minutes trying to lift it. He's like, the guy must have lifted this up. Hold on, let me try it again. And he just like keeps trying to lift up the window and it just doesn't work.
I think it's also like the way it's framed. It's like you want Ace to be the underdog because he doesn't like talking to humans. He likes talking to animals more often. And I think that's what makes him feel like just the outcast. It's always the outcast. He's like a sort of play on the outcast. It's like, yeah, this is an outcast, but he's a pretty fucking weird outcast. That's what I wanted to go and do.
Alright, with that, I think we should wrap up for tonight.
Yeah, wrap it and tap it.
Wrap it and tap it.
You don't want no babies.
I think I got deja vu tonight, Christina.
Why?
Because I feel like Eli made that screen door joke twice in a row, but like one of them just feels like it was erased from history.
Like what you're about to say right now.
Like Eli can manipulate time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eli can manipulate time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eli can manipulate time. Time.
Christina, do you have another topic?
No.
Oh, yeah. I said I was trying to
Adventure
wrap it
Time
up
came back on TV.
Oh, cool! I didn't see the episode. How was it?
They're doing a bomb.
When you say it's like, oh, this fucking episode.
No, bombs refer to like when they do 5 episodes in a row each day.
They're gonna have 3 bombs this month. 3
for Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Damn.
3 Adventure Time bombs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's this one. There's the week after next is going to be Stakes, which is the Marceline miniseries, which is like 11 or 10 episodes.
Okay.
And then apparently there's going to be one after that.
By the way, Marceline's mom is being voiced by Rebecca Sugar, which just sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Will she make her gay?
Make it gayer.
Make it gayer.
Well, there was kind of a gay episode with her and Princess Bubblegum.
Ooh.
It was more like, I mean, you could probably write it off as friends.
Did they fuck?
But no.
Okay, you're like, guys, don't talk about bisexuality that way. But do they put their titties together? Do they rub the veggies?
Nice.
You sound like JonTron. Aaron.
I don't really watch JonTron.
But somehow you sound like him. Aaron.
Okay. I think I've seen like one JonTron video, and I feel bad because I don't think JonTron's a bad guy, but it's just like his kind of humor is just so lost on me that I'm just like, I'm not really interested. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you. Like, because he's just like, I feel like his comedy is very loud and boisterous, and I'm just like,
Yeah, like I watched some of the earlier videos of Game Grumps, and I just like Danny so much more.
Yeah, I feel like Danny's just better because he's like the straight man to Aaron just being fucking weird. You gotta have a good straight man.
Yeah.
You can't do comedy.
You can't do comedy with gay dudes.
To be honest, I actually, as a kid, and still to this day, I didn't really like Invader Zim because there wasn't a straight man.
I mean, I guess you can argue that Dib is kind of one.
You can kind of argue that Dib's the straight man, but
he's like the one straight man, and like
I think the thing was that was kind of coming out around the same time Ed, Edd and Eddy was coming out, and I loved Ed, Edd and Eddy. I didn't give that much of a crap about Invader Zim because I just felt like I don't really care about this world when the world is populated by people who like leave the toaster on and just burn their house down. Like
I think it's like the same thing with The Simpsons. Is that there is a lot of weird people with like a very a weird over the top senses of logic, and yet the straight man's supposed to be the audience. Oftentimes to be Lisa Simpson, but still. Like,
that was kind of the downfall of the show when they realized Lisa should be the straight man of every episode. And it's like, oh, Lisa's so annoying.
What? I like Lisa.
I don't. I think Lisa is a character that they need to stop making every story about.
All right, am I just a weird guy who likes Lisa?
No, it's just Lisa always just comes in to be the smart one, and it's just like, oh.
She's like Adam, and Adam ruins everything.
Yeah, no, but like played seriously.
Adam ruins everything. The Actually show.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, everyone should go see Adam Ruins Everything.
Adam ruins.
Did I turn you on to that, Eli?
No, I've seen it long before you even told me about it.
Okay, good. Christina, I know I turned on to that, and I'm glad you liked it because that's a great. That was a great miniseries they did on the internet, and I'm glad that they got to make it into like a real big production.
Yeah, it's a very good show.
Yeah,
very good show.
I like Adam Conover's stand-up.
I didn't like this week's episode.
Okay.
Did he do stand-up special?
Yeah, he did some stand-up. Like you can find him on YouTube. It's like he'll talk about like how he's the only person in his family with a BA, and everyone else is has a doctorate. And it's like
okay, I was gonna say because his dad is a marine biologist professor.
Really?
Yeah, he actually had his dad appear on Adam Ruins Everything to talk about fish species.
Oh.
Cool. Wow. Some
Wait,
nepotism.
what was the episode about?
It was about restaurants, and that was when, you know, like, they
Oh.
renamed fish to make them sound more appetizing.
Oh, yeah.
And so Adam Conover's father was in the episode, and he's like, this is my actual, I swear to God, audience, this is really my dad. Follow Christina at Cacao Arts?
Cacao Arts. Like,
Just give in, Christina, and just call yourself Cocoa
CocoArts.tumblr.com.
Arts.
I mean, entirely of chocolate.
Follow Eli by just going out to a dumpster and just looking at it, because it's basically the same as looking at his Twitter profile.
Wow,
Or-
Bret, that's
But
But
so
if you had to
mean.
go to his Twitter profile, Eli, what's your Twitter profile?
Our Twitter profile is @BaseClef Eli.
And follow me at 1T-Bret. And if you're at Blizzard right now, you're working there, and you like think like,
Oh my
I need
God,
to give
really,
out,
Bret?
I need to give out Overwatch beta invites. That just hit me up, 1T-Bret. Come on, let's talk this out. I got the golden Overwatch pin. We can work this out. We can work this out, Blizzard.
If we're thinking about making another Italian movie, call me. I'll make it good. The first one was shit.
Okay, no one cares about that. Blizzard employee who's watching.
Watching?
No.
No one's watching. We're hearing.
There's a Blizzard employee. There's got to be one.
No one's watching. They're hearing.
Blizzard. I'm gonna fucking. They're watching the still that we put up, and we should really just get a SoundCloud file.
We should probably just have a let's play of just like someone playing Pokemon really badly.
And just someone playing Pokemon and walking into the wall and the thud, music going over and over again for an hour and a half. But yeah, Blizzard Blizzard employees, 1T-Bret at 1T-Bret, hit me up.
Oh,
I got a golden Overwatch pin.
Yeah, you can call on him for like
Yeah,
some
he's
good
going
sex
mad playing Hearthstone, so...
Yeah, that, and so I'm loyal. I am loyal to you people.
Yeah, he's... How long have you been with Blizzard, Bret?
Longer than we've been dating.
Well, I know that, jeez.
I don't know, like since hardcore.
Hardcore indeed.
When did you start playing World of Warcraft?
Vanilla.
Matt Borealis, call me. Okay, before we go and end this episode, I just want to let you know, Bret, when you said Matt Borealis, that's actually the name Jim Sterling gave to David Boreanaz. And so just hearing you say Matt Borealis the whole time, it's just...
Oh, because I know that Jim Sterling got banned from his Twitter.
Yeah.
I know that.
So every time you said Matt Borealis, I'm like, I can't believe he's saying it. Oh my god.
You're like you're the worst, Eli. Go fuck yourself.
But you like can